Tonight we're fortunate to be honoring two grandmasters, and Otto Penzler, who is one of the mainstays of the mystery writing world, is going to present the Grandmaster Award to James Ellroy. You all know Otto through the Mysterious Books Store, through the Mysterious Press, but he himself has won 2 Edgars for critical biographical work. In 1977 for the Encyclopedia of Mystery and Detection, and in 2010 for The Lineup. He also has received the Raven and the Ellery Queen Awards. Otto.
It's more fun when you're holding your own. About 34 years ago, I was in my bookshop. For those of you who knew the old shop on 56th Street, there was a spiral staircase that went up to the 2nd floor. And I was sitting at my desk, and this rather large young man came up the staircase and came over to the desk. And I said, "Excuse me, are you Otto Penzler?" And I admitted that I was. And he put out his big hand and said, "I'm James Ellroy. I'm the next great one." He was right. At the moment, I said, "You'll forgive me if I reserve judgment," because at that point he had written one book, a paperback original, Brown's Requiem, which I had not read, and so I was a little shy about accepting his judgment. But time has proven him to be right. And my life for quite a long time was connected to James. At the time, he was carrying a manuscript with him called L.A. Death Trip, the usual understated kind of thing that James does. And I was, at that time, partner in a literary agency. I had just started a literary agency with, forgive me, everybody else in the room if you're an agent, but with the greatest agent alive, Nat Sobel. And Nat and I had started something called the Mysterious Literary Agency. And James had brought this manuscript for us to represent him. And we worked on it for a while, and ultimately the book became Blood on the Moon, which was later filmed with James Woods as a movie called Cop. Good book, bad movie, but it doesn't always work out that way. Nat couldn't sell the book to any other publisher. And I had a little publishing company at the time, very little, by which I mean one person, which was me, called the Mysterious Press. And we were just beginning to grow, and I had just hired an editor. And I said, "Okay, tell you what, I love this book. This guy is so great, we should publish it. But you, Nat, my partner in the agency, negotiate with my editor, because I have to be out of it, because otherwise there could be an appearance of impropriety." And we didn't want that. So we bought Blood on the Moon, and I edited and published the next half dozen, 6 books by James. He broke out, that was the first book in a trilogy, the Lloyd Hopkins trilogy, which was a very good series, which wasn't selling very well. But the sales were getting better, and the books were getting better. And he came to me and said, "You know, I'd like to do something different. I want to write the book that I was born to write." And I said, "Geez, you know, the Hopkins trilogy is really good, and this is a really good, strong character, and I'm not sure you should drop him now." And he said, No, I really want to write the book that I was meant to write." I said, "Well, okay, what's the book?" And the book that he gave me was The Black Dahlia, which wound up being the Mysterious Press's first New York Times bestseller list, first bestseller, which shows you the kind of insight and editorial judgment that I have. James went on to write The Big Nowhere and LA Confidential and white jazz, what he called the LA Quartet. The kind of praise and critical respect that he has earned, in addition to being an international bestseller, the critical appraisal that he's had has proven his initial statement to be correct. Time magazine picked one of his books, American Tabloid, as the best fiction work of the year. Joyce Carol Oates has called James the American Dostoevsky. He's had 4 films made from his books, and also very, very significantly, his prose style is so original and so powerful that I wouldn't hesitate to call him the most influential American writer of the last quarter century. He developed this style when we asked him to cut a book. It was so long. I said, you need to cut this book. A lot of people would have eliminated a character or a subplot, and that's not what happened here. James cut it word by word. We needed 100 pages less, and he cut it word by word. Now that style is frequently called telegraphic or telegrammic. I tend to think of it as jazz, dissonant jazz, and a lot of other writers have come along in recent years to emulate that style in the best way that they could. They couldn't do it the way James does, they can't do it, but they try, and that's the mark of a very influential writer. I can't think of anybody who deserves the Grandmaster Award more than the great James Ellroy. It's my pleasure.
My friend, I was born doing reference work in sin and born confessing it. This is what poems are with mercy for the greedy. They are the tongue's wrangle, the world's pottage, the rat's star. Anne Sexton wrote that. I'm here to give you the pottage, I'm here to give you the wordage. And for 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to hitch you to my star. And more than anything else, I'm going to thank people in this room, specifically those huddled and circled around table number 8 over here, and tell you the story of a 100-year-old talking dog that you may choose not to believe or you may embrace with a very, very open heart. T.S. Eliot wrote, if you came this way, starting from anywhere, at any time and in any season, you would have to put off sense and notion. You are not here to instruct yourself or to inform curiosity or to carry a report. You are here to kneel where prayer has been proven valid. And for me, what better place to bow my head in prayer than a room full of people who worship the book. Within that construction, fiction. Within that construction, crime fiction. Here's the zinger. I'm devoutly religious. I see God's hand in every moment of every day, and God's intercession in all events, large and small. I believe firmly that we are all one being, united with one pulse. We all possess one soul. I believe in William Butler Yeats's concept of the spiritus mundi, the collective unconscious. I believe we have all read the same books, and all possess strains of the same imagination. In March of 1948, when I was 10 years old, soon to be 10 minutes old then, I was at Good Samaritan Hospital. I'd just come out. I was looking around the world like this. I was bewildered. I was flummoxed. My first words were, "Where's the book and where's the booze?" And a creature padded up to my crib. He was a tall dog. He was then 33 years of age. He was somewhat raggedy-ass. He had a long, pointed snout. He put his front paws up on my crib, and he quoted the great Irish-American writer Frank O'Connor. Frank O'Connor wrote this: "A literature that cannot be vulgarized is no literature at all and will not last." This dog then urged me to write, and more specifically, to read and to experience life recklessly for a long period of years before I turned my life around a bit and put pen to paper. We're here because we see the poetry in the connection between the first kiss and the love affair that ends in the gas chamber in 6 short months. We are here because we are the poets of the brave moral stand, and we are the acolytes of the twisted private eye, the dollar-driven DA, the femme fatale whose murderous intent hides the deeply broken heart. We are here to vulgarize literature, to imbue it with the common touch, and with that common touch, elevate it to art that reaches all the souls who are outside of this room tonight, who, as our fellow human beings, are at one with our beating hearts. The dog was the Alfred A. Knopf Borzoi. He turns 100 years old this fall. His acolytes are strewn around table number 8. From then, 1981, when Otto Penzler frankly discovered me and introduced me to Nat Sobel and his wife and literary partner, Judith Weber, seated over there, my life has been one long journey to commune with a talking dog. I talk to this dog a great deal. I belabor everyone at table number 8 with tales of the sacred Borzoi, and I field their looks, which often tell me, shut the fuck up about that raggedy-ass canine. Nevertheless, he is a creature of literary elitism and the common vulgar touch intertwined. Going around table 8, Stephanie Kloss, Emily Giuliano, Tony Chirico, Ann Massetti, Edward Kastenmeyer, Nat Sobel, Sonny Mehta, Judith Weber, Annalise Spitzer, Paul Bogards, Kim Thornton. Hail the sacred Borzoi. God bless you. Thank you, all of you, Mystery Writers of America, for giving me this award.